Hey, welcome back to the Canadian Islander fan. My name's Terry, and after a 3.5 month hiatus from doing the podcast, probably picked a bad year to start doing this podcast, but I didn't know what was going down. For the last 3.5 months, I've been away from home. I've been in a long-term pain clinic. Uh, so I had to get that taken care of, and I was there for 3.5 months. For those of you who don't know, if you didn't watch my intro video on my page, I basically had 9 shoulder surgeries. I've had 6 on the right, 3 on the left, and I've been living in pain for nothing but the last 10 years or so. So it was important for me to do, but I'm excited to get back to the Canadian Islander fan podcast here. So I'm excited to start up again. It sucks that I'm coming in so late again and that we're out of it. But what can you do? This will be a little warm up for me for next year. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a full season and foreseeing no other problems like that. So that should be the last thing for me. So anyway, pretty excited about tonight's game. We've got the Islanders and the Pens once again, and I gotta say that for me, and I think all Islander fans, we all hate Pittsburgh. So I want the Pittsburgh people to hate us as much as we hate them. And Pittsburgh can't be very happy with us lately. We've been knocking them out of the playoffs right, left, and center. And I would love nothing better than to sweep these guys back to back. And Washington's hot right now. And there's a good chance that Washington, if we win tonight, there's a good chance Washington could catch Pittsburgh and drop them down into a wild card spot and make their opponent even tougher. So anything we can do to piss off the Pittsburgh Penguins, I'm all for it. So anyway, I'm looking forward tonight. Unusual. Barry's going with Sorokin again tonight. So back-to-back starts for Sorokin. He's been absolutely awesome. And I guess we'll talk about it more as we get going here, but I'm pretty excited to get into the game and start watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys in between the first and second period. Well, didn't I pick a good time to start podcasting about the Islanders again? After one period of play, the Pittsburgh Penguins lead the New York Islanders 2-0. And I'm wondering, did the Islanders even get off the plane? I mean, sorry, but no excuse for this game at all. They're completely rested. And they didn't even show up. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, the only person who showed up in the first period was Ilya Sorokin. And we actually didn't start looking like a hockey team until the back half of the double minor after the 4-on-4. That little 40-second power play we had was about the only time that we looked semi-effective in the game. And I don't know. I just don't. An effort like that, there's no excuse for that. We're so much better team than that, and to come out that flat. I mean, you've only got 10 games left in the year. So, I mean, I know as a hockey player myself, I always like, especially when it was getting to the end, if I knew it was coming to an end, I always tried to play my absolute best at the end there because I knew it was going to be a long summer of not much hockey. So, really no excuses. The first goal, Sorokin didn't even have a chance. Letang there, it was completely screened. He didn't even see it. On the second one, I don't really blame Ilya. He was taken off guard. I was surprised by the shot myself. I wasn't expecting that from that far out. And he just shot it and right 5-hole and kind of took Ilya by surprise. But like I said, it took me by surprise as well. So I'd like to see a lot more action of the Islanders in the hitting department in that. But I certainly don't want to think that they bailed out on the season. And the reason being is because I've been watching their hockey of late and they've actually played pretty well. But this one, I don't understand coming out and being flat for this game here. You know, Ilya had 47 shots against Pittsburgh last game, and they come out, what was it, like 6, 7, 8-0 in shots before we even registered one, and our shots were basically pretty lame. So, man, the giveaways were brutal. Josh Bailey, I lost count at the amount of giveaways he did, and then even on that the second goal for Pittsburgh there. Brian Boyle has the puck and Josh is standing right by him and he won't even hit him. and he just looks at him and he like waves his stick at him a little bit and just lets Boyle make a beautiful pass straight up the ice. No pressure from it all, because he obviously too afraid to hit him. Yeah, don't think that 2 weeks of good hockey from Josh Bailey has changed my mind at all on this guy. I just can't wait for the day for him to be gone, except I'm getting a little disappointed also right now because I think Beauvillier is turning in to be our next Bailey. And I'm starting to get really ticked at his gameplay. I've said this before. Bailey I could Bailey I could definitely trade, but Beauvillier I could also include in a package as well. I mean, this guy is just so inconsistent, and he's not the smartest of hockey players either. I've noticed that his hockey IQ is not the best that I've seen out of the players out there. So yeah, disappointing first period by the Islanders. I'm hoping for something a whole lot better in the second period, and I need this one for my fantasy hockey as well. So come on, guys, let's get going here. I need Ilya with a W tonight. So, the Leafs and the Rangers could have clinched a playoff spot with an Islander loss, and the Islanders said not today. And then Pittsburgh could have clinched last game against us, and the Islanders said not today, and they better say the same thing here. I don't want the Pittsburgh Penguins clinching against us. That's just horrible. So let's get on the horse here. Okay, Isles, let's go. 2-0 after the first. We need to bear down and start hitting some bodies for starters. We even had 4 extra minutes of power play time, and Pittsburgh had none, and we're losing 2-0. So really, really bad period by the Islanders. All right, we'll see you in between the second and third. Hopefully it'll be a lot more cheerier. After 2 periods of play, the Pittsburgh Penguins lead the New York Islanders 3-1, and in a much better period by the Islanders. And if they had played the first like they played the second, we'd probably be in about a 2-2 hockey game right now. But since we decided not to show up in the first period, we're paying for it now. We definitely dominated that second period, except for the last 5 minutes of the second. I thought Pittsburgh took over again with the help of a power play as well. So yeah, the Islanders looked much more engaged in this period, which was nice to see. But like, there's really no excuse to come out in that first period like the way we did. So yeah, I'm much happier with the way things went there. A beautiful play by Matt Barzal. I mean, like, how many people can do what he did there? Like, he first he made the guy do the flyby on him, then he makes pulls around, makes a move to the slot, and I'm expecting a shot, and I know Jerry's expecting a shot, and he dumps it off to Parise there, and Parise, the goal scorer, with his 14th of the year. Way to go, Zach. I would not be surprised at all if next year Zach hits 20, 22, 23 goals or something like that next year, even as will he be 38 next year? But it wouldn't surprise me in the least after the slow start that he had. He's just looking really good. And he's making all the right plays and whatnot. So happy for Zach. I remember when I was doing all those podcasts during our losing times during the COVID and the opening of UBS and all that. And each podcast I kept saying, I don't know what to say. Parise had a great game. I know the stats don't show it, but he had a good game and whatnot. And he's been playing well all year. He's just snake bitten, and now he's got his confidence back. And I think by coming in next year as a returning Islander, he'll just be much more at ease. And we're in UBS next year, starting the season from there. So it'll be good. It'll be good. We're gonna make a nice comeback. I know it. Little disappointed. I still want to come back and try to win this game. I hope the Islanders are in the mood to make a push, because basically Pittsburgh took advantage of they take advantage just about every chance they get. And I'm not going to blame Ilya, because those are good goals, but Ilya's had better games at the same time, and I was actually surprised that Varlamov wasn't in tonight. Not that I don't think that Ilya can handle that load, because I do think he can handle that load, but I guess it's because basically Sorokin beat Pittsburgh last year in the playoffs, and I think that's why Barry went with it, and then he stopped. What was it, 43 of 47 shots the game before? So yeah, I understand the decision, but maybe I kind of knows maybe Ilya's just not as sharp as he normally is tonight, and yeah. So let's hope we make a big push in the third period here, and come out with. We don't even have to. We can win in a shootout or overtime, and Pittsburgh still won't clinch. So so let's just drive on that. Let's go, Islanders. Let's get 2 goals in the third and shut them down, and then we'll take it away from an overtime or a shootout.
Make every moment more.
Well, did I ever pick a doozy of a game to come back to start podcasting to? Pittsburgh Penguins take the New York Islanders 6-3 in a blowout loss, but nah, it's not really a blowout. Well, it was. It was an ugly game, but 2 empty netters make it look worse than it was. So anyway, it was nice to score a couple goals in the period, and that got a little bit exciting there for a second, gave us a little bit of hope, but we really didn't deserve any hope. We were never in this game right from the start, because we just never showed up for the first period. So it was just a battle from behind the entire night, and everything caught up with us. One of those games too where little things were going wrong, like who was it, Matt Martin put one right through an empty net uh through the crease. Palms could have made it 2-2, but hit a goal post, and Parise hit a goal post later, and there all kinds of things were going on out there that were kind of weird. It was an ugly game. I thought it was a pretty bad game by both teams. So uh yeah, not the greatest of ways to start the road trip, that's for sure. So anyway, Crosby, who's always been an Islander killer, kicked it up to 4-1, but then late in the game, Anders finally showed up and got an assist from Nelson, and those two guys have been kind of cold lately, so it's kind of nice to see them at least hook up for a goal. It was kind of meaningless, but what the hell. So we pull the goaltender with a 4-2. They score 5-2. Boom, it's gone. So, and then the New York Islanders, another record is set tonight for the New York Islanders, and I have to believe I have to believe that, they talk about records that are all records are breakable. I do believe this one is going to go in the category of unbreakable. I cannot see it being done. Zdeno Chara scores his first goal of the year, and Nelson picks up his second point with an assist by winning the draw. And so Nelson roughly went, what, 20, or not Nelson, Chara went roughly 21 years between goals as an Islander. So if anybody, does anybody think that record can be broken? I don't think that record can be broken. Not even on the Islanders, but I don't think that record will ever be broken ever in the NHL. Like some other team could. I just don't see a guy leaving for 19 years and coming back and scoring a goal 2 years later after he joined. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. So Zdeno, I think that's a record for yours to keep forever. And so that made it what did that make it, 5-3, and then so we pulled the goaltender again, and we put on some good pressure in that and whatnot, but bouncy puck, whatever, gets out of the zone, and the Penguins get another empty netter. So we fell and let the Penguins qualify for the playoffs. Not that it really matters, because they were going to qualify anyway. It doesn't matter if it was a game against us or not. So we just need to get this season over with and get the next season started. So but we're going to try to make it through these last few games here. So it was an entertaining, sloppy game. That's about all I can say. So let's talk about the players in the game. So I thought Zach Parise had a pretty good game. He's on a hot streak. He's scoring goals. So yeah, a really good game by a typical good game by Zach. So really nice. Josh Bailey, yes, yeah, no, not good, not good. We need to get rid of this player from our team. We really do. He needs to go. I mean, it's so bad. Like this guy's there's a Twitter account out there that is named Josh Bailey is bad. And it just every night shows about 4 or 5 clips of things that Josh does wrong. And every time I watch those clips, I'm going, yeah, but you forgot this and you forgot that and you forgot this and you forgot that. So it just goes to show you like how many times a night this guy just screws up. So yeah, not even going to talk about him. I think I did just talk about him. Anyway, Barzell, we need better things out of Matty, and I'm a little bit concerned about Matt because now what is he go another -2, but mind you, those are the empty net goals and whatnot. But uh, I don't know if Matt suits our team. I love Matt. Matt's my favorite player on the Islanders. He really is, and but I just don't know. Like Barry just has the handcuffs on him way too much, and I can't help but think that with when Bars liked that comment from Marty St. Louis when he said he just let Cole Caulfield, he took the handcuffs off him or the chains off him or whatever, and let him play. And Matt liked that comment, and then of course he got a lot of flack for liking that comment, and then he took his like off and whatnot. But I'm not so sure. I'm not sure Matt's really happy here or not. And that to me is kind of troublesome. And we need to start riding our horse. This kid's a thoroughbred. We got to start playing him extra there. Like I noticed Barry threw him out once with was it Matt and Ross, and then he was out again real quick after that with his own line. And then he started to gain momentum when he I know as a hockey player, the more minutes you get, the better you play. And but I don't know, man. I think we have the shackles just a little too tight on Barzy. I really do. Or I just don't see him staying with us if we continue along this line, because I know Matt wants to play and he wants to score. And I seriously think on another team he would light it up at least point per game. I really do. I know everybody's got to play their structure and play their defense and that, but you make exceptions. I know Barry made exceptions for Ovi. Yes, he turned him into a better hockey player. Yes, he made him better defensively, but still there's a million things that you could, I mean, even today still say wrong about Ovi. But he gets the minutes no matter what, because he'll produce. But Matt doesn't even get that chance to do that. So we got one stud. We should let the guy run. Okay, enough of that. Matt Martin, not effective enough tonight, and he had that almost one goal, but we need better. Anthony Bavillia, I talked about earlier. I'm just like, wow, this guy he's a magician. He pulls disappearing act after disappearing act. And the worst part about it is I really like Bo. And it's just way too inconsistent. And I think probably more troubling to me than anything was that I hadn't really noticed before was his hockey IQ. And that to me is a little bit troublesome. Yeah, I love Bo, but he's got to get it going. He's got to figure out a way to be more consistent in this league instead of these 5 to 10 game spurts and then disappear for 30, 40. That's so Bailey like. It's just scary. Kiefer Bellows, he wasn't really noticed that much tonight. A little bit that I saw was okay. Nothing spectacular, but I didn't think the Barzell line got a lot of ice time tonight, so I would have to check the stats for ice time, but it seemed like they were on almost the least of anybody out there. So not a bad game. And Palmieri, he was okay too. He was playing with snarl and a bit of bite and everything like that. And And he hit that goal post, and could have changed everything. So yeah, so an okay game by Palms. And Anders, I thought actually had a horrible game, even though he scored. And I he just didn't seem engaged tonight. Not in the Anders Lee kind of style of being the captain of our team. It just didn't seem to have it tonight. And same could be said for Brock, even though Brock walks away with 2 assists in this game. It was almost scary watching how much Anders and Brock had fallen off. But boy, you're not going to hear me complain about them, because they basically carried this team for a month on their goals and their goals alone. So it's time for other people to pick up the slack for them. So they definitely get a pass from me, both Brock and Anders. But it was nice to see them kind of get off the schneid just a little bit there tonight, even though they were kind of useless goals and useless points. It's all about the psyche up here. So hopefully that'll get them trending good to finish off the season strong, because I need them both in my fantasy pools. Come on, guys, let's get going here. Let's see who else we got. Oh, Ross Johnson. Ross, not his best game either. And I'm going to package together Ross and Casey. I didn't think Casey had a very good game either, but and the play that really bothered me the most was Casey making a cross ice. He was deep in the corner, and he cross iced it to the blue line to Ross Johnson. Who Casey, and it was a rocket of a pass too. And nothing against Ross. Ross has way more talent than most people think, and he's not just your basic goon. He does have some talent, but man, Casey, you got to be smarter than that. You don't rip a pass back like that to Ross Johnson when he's the last line of defense like that. Like, yeah, these are the little things that are killing us. And I saw a lot of the little things, a lot of the little giveaways, and all the stuff, and that stuff's got to be corrected. You got to be smarter than that. So Ross was okay tonight. I don't blame him for that puck getting by him and the third goal being scored against us. And by the way, how many 2-on-0s have we given up this year? 5, 6, 7? Like it's just insane. Like, I'm like, what the hell here? Poor Ilya, man. We left the guy out to dry. Absolutely left him out to dry tonight. Pager, I thought, had an excellent game. He was one of our few Islanders that I thought had a really good game out there tonight. He basically owned Crosby once again in the face-off circle, and he was playing with an edge out there, and he was playing with pace and speed. And so, yeah, I was really happy with Pager tonight. So good game by Pager. It's nice to see Crosby not get his way in the face-off circle there. Well done. Adam Pelech continuing wasn't his best game, that's for sure. Adam doesn't usually get a lot of penalties. He's been getting penalties lately, though, and he got a couple again tonight. So that didn't help us out. Of course, Adam still makes all the great defensive plays that you pretty much want. But once again, Adam just didn't seem as engaged tonight as well. Andy Green, he was okay. I saw him make one really nice play. Yeah, he's okay. It was okay. A lot of our guys were just okay tonight. That was a problem. I thought Pollock had a good game, other than the what is it here? Tell me that's not a -5. That can't be -5. Sorry, I'm gonna put my glasses on here. Oh, thank God that's a -1. I thought he had a better game than that. I was going, holy cow. He got a lot of shots on net. So he's been getting his shots through lately, and that'll pay dividends in the long run. So yeah. Grant Hutton, he's making, I'm seeing a lot of little mistakes being made by Grant. Now, Grant's been playing some pretty good hockey for the Islanders as a rookie, but he is making rookie mistakes. And, well, I don't know if you can be mad at him for making rookie mistakes, because he's a rookie, right? So, yeah, he's a little bit older, but I can see how he would be a solid defenseman if you were looking for a solid defenseman. But Yeah, I'm hoping we've got better for the back end than Hutton, even though he seems to be a good stay-at-home guy, and he does try to get a shot on net. So I'll give him that. Definitely not Noah's best game tonight either for Dobby. He had a few moments where he took the puck and ran with it, and he always has those nice little juke moves. But I tell you, man, this Islander team, we have our D man for the future, no doubt about it. Like he is our franchise D man, followed by our franchise defensive defenseman Pellick, and then you throw Pollock in there with them, and we have an awesome D core going forward for a while here, and I'm still hoping that Robin Salo will turn out, and I'm praying that Barry doesn't do what he does to some people like Wallstrom and Bellows, and just don't do it, Barry. Like, give the guy his chance. Holy cow, man! Like, you can see he's got it way more than Aho, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm hoping we see Salo in there next year. And well, Big Z, what can you say? I thought he had a terrible game. Defensively, he was horrible tonight. He really was. And he's actually had a pretty good year for the Islanders. So I'm not going to jump all over him. I especially can't with him scoring, 21 years apart, or 20 years and some odd days apart from scoring a goal at the Islanders. And I for one, was happy he got that goal. I think all Islander fans, ever since it was way back there where he had two cracks at the empty net, and then he started hitting posts, and then he was moving up and making things happen. So it was kind of nice to see Z get his goal tonight. So I was happy to see that. Poor Ilya, we left him hang out to dry tonight. Really wasn't his fault. Just horrible team play by the Islanders. You can't give up 2-0. You just can't. So what can you say? You can't do that. I hate when our team hangs him out to dry like that, when he's bailed us out so many times, and they come out with a performance like tonight. So yeah, it kind of really sucked. Anyway, it's good to be back in the saddle again. The Islanders losing for me on my comeback podcast here. Way to go, Isles. I appreciate that. So I guess we can expect Varlamov tomorrow in Montreal and hope for some better results then. Not that the results matter. I guess it all depends if you're hoping that we catch Vancouver or whoever it is. There's another team right up in front of us there for draft pick. Maybe the loss helps us by staying down. I don't wish one way or another where we end up for draft picks, especially with the lottery. You never know. You might wish yourself out of a spot that has the balls fall into it. So anyway, that game totally sucked. The Penguins beating us 6-3, and I'm looking for a lot better opening result. I hope they'll be pumped being back in the Montreal Forum. It's been a while. Montreal Forum it just gets people pumped up. Hopefully it'll snap Bo out of his little whatever in the hell he's in right now. So anyway, Islanders fall 6-3 to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I want all you guys out there to take it easy and peace out.